Welcome to I'm Screaming, a podcast for anyone who's felt like shamelessly screaming at the top of their lungs over a moment in pop culture.
Because sometimes pop culture can be scary and you gotta let it out. Let's scream about it together.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Giselle.
Yeah.
Nighttime voice is on and ready to go.
The nighttime voice makes me laugh. But yes, once again, we've adopted this kind of new schedule, I guess, of recording on Monday nights. We've had busy weekends. We saw each other this weekend, which is great though.
We did. It was literally since the Emmys we hadn't seen each other.
Which is
That's craziness.
blasphemy. It's blasphemy.
It is
but
a bit blasphemous.
For anyone that, keeps up with our lives, Meg is, moving to the city. We won't disclose the location because privacy, but exciting stuff.
We are hoping that it's going to happen. Everybody put some good energy out into the universe, that it'll all work out. But yes, exciting times, fast times in Meg Brady's life.
Yes, it's exciting for Meg more than this other thing, but when Meg finally moves to the city, that means we will be able to record in person more often. Also just hang out more often, but also the podcast is always on the top of my mind.
Going to benefit for sure.
Yes,
for sure.
But so everyone, for like the last couple of weeks, we've basically had the same five because the pop culture machine was running extremely slow, but
really was overshadowed by the chaos that is
the world.
The world these past few weeks, these next few weeks. But fully this week was manic.
Yeah. They're also so basically we say all that to say that we have two different fives this week. We each have five. So I mean, yay for that.
Yeah. We're sharing two, I believe, right?
Yeah.
But we're each gonna have 5 screams, so it's gonna be back to kind of the initial format.
Yes.
But,
so if you're
but
new
we
here,
do. I mean, we got some good feedback on when we were sharing our fives, which was great. And I think, that's not going away. But we just got a lot to cover today, so it's exciting. How was your day?
My day was good. It's kind of dreary outside in New York, so it was very much like if you can't tell, actually we're recording this a video. We're trying this whole video thing out, so if this video shows up on YouTube, hi YouTube, hi everyone. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but if you do see me on YouTube, you see that my room is in a very dark ambiance right now, to match the vibes of the rain and the gloominess. So other than that, it was a fine day. I went to the grocery store, made some pasta salad. I'm going to make salmon for dinner. I'm going to sit in my room and maybe not leave and watch a nice show, read a book.
Before we start, that sounds beautiful, by the way. But before we start, have you finished Emily in Paris?
I have one more episode. I honestly, the discourse of Emily in Paris, first of all, it's a trash show. We all know it. This is for another day to talk about this, but betches in the comments of YouTube and Instagram and TikTok have been wilding the fuck out. I've literally wanted to fight people in the comments of these different respective social media platforms because everyone takes things so seriously, or everyone's just so annoying. I have many different examples, but the Emily in Paris example was, I was telling Meg about this yesterday. InStyle magazine wrote an article basically about how Emily in Paris is a disgrace or something like that to social media editors, to which social media editors are 100% entitled to that opinion, and it probably is. It is a disgrace to them. Mm-hmm. But all the fucking people in the comments are let me enjoy my show. It's just a fun show. Da-da-da-da. I'm bitches from fucking Idaho, sit the fuck down. No shade to people in Idaho, but also I could not deal with that. I was just
it's
just so annoying.
So much of a toxicity, I think, on the internet when critiquing shows, movies, franchises. I mean, I think you and I have this kind of reaction, but not an outward reaction where we're commenting on blogs and shit, but when we see someone shitting on the MCU, we love it. So it feels, at times it can feel like an attack on you, but you just kind of gotta people, we need to learn. And I mean, we're pretty good at it, I think. But those kind of ladies and gentlemen who are commenting and getting upset about Emily in Paris discourse need to learn to separate the fiction from their real life. It's not an insult to you. You can enjoy it. Enjoy what you want. But you also have to be able to take the negativity or take the critique
Take the
of something
discourse.
that you like. Yeah.
And
That's
then,
what
like,
I mean. That's why you watch shows and movies and read books and stuff. You know, I don't just like read a book and then never talk about it again. I want to discuss it. I don't watch a
totally.
show just to keep it to myself that I watched it. I want
Yeah,
to
and
talk
like
about it.
people just get real brave in
Yeah.
the comments. Like they really, it's I know this has like been internet culture forever, but like it's just so wild to like watch people while out on the internet and like say all these things. Like it's just crazy to me. There's many other examples of just like also, I mean, now I'm getting into it. I say I'm not going to get into it, but here we are. I mean, this episode may be long, everyone. Sorry. But it's just like I've been seeing on TikTok too, like a lot of discourse around like transphobia and like all these things that like people, it's these people who parade around as like liberals, and like they're definitely people showing up to like pride marches, and they're the people who are like, yes, like women supporting women. But like as soon as like a trans woman tries to like make a joke about her own experience, like they're all like, we're equal, we're the same, like what are you talking about, like why would you ever say that trans women are better, like literally, like
supporting a person does not mean that you're it's just people just
it has been rocking my world, the amount of just like violent hatred people in the world. And like whatever, if you want to talk about things, get a podcast like us. But also we see things from many sides and we support all people. But I'll stop talking about it. Literally, you asked me about Emily in Paris and I went on this whole entire rampage, but just like
because
social media
there are
has
a
been
million
pressing
things
me.
to say about it.
Yeah.
So maybe, who knows, maybe if there's a season 2, we'll do like a full episode on Emily in Paris.
Yeah, like
I'm sure there's gonna be a season 2 because it was trending for like 10 days. So
yeah, I am fully enjoying Emily in Paris. Like two truths can exist at the same time, as we always say.
yes,
Emily in Paris can be fully a disgrace to all social media editors, but also it can be mindless and enjoyable to watch. So
exactly,
there it is.
there it is. That's it.
That is truly it.
That
But
is
without
that.
further ado,
Number
can
5.
we just jump in?
Yes, we share our number 5. This is news that broke this morning, and of course, the first thing I did was text Giselle, send her the link. And this is someone we've talked about on this podcast before. I feel like we kind of liked her. I mean, I don't know, not that I don't like her anymore. I just don't really understand this narrative that she's pushing for herself. This is Lily James.
Mm-hmm.
Very talented actor, singer, beautiful, great,
Mm-hmm.
amazing, kind of like on top of the world, lots of projects, lots of buzz around her.
Yeah.
She was dating Matt Smith for like 4.5 years or so, I think, like a long while.
One of the best doctors.
One of the
Doctor
best
Who
we
fame.
love Doctor Who. I mean, he's amazing. Took me a long time to detach from David Tennant, but
Same.
when I did, I fully embraced Matt Smith, and he's iconic. Fezzes are cool.
Yes.
They recently broke up, and we discussed this on the podcast back in July when an infamous character on this podcast, Mr. Christopher Evans, was spotted during the pandemic in London, going out to a club with her. Then they were walking in the park, eating ice cream. Everybody was kind of like, what the fuck is going on? It's a pandemic. Why are you flying across Atlantic? And then we never really heard much about that after. We were like, are they dating? What's going on? What's happening? So what happened this morning, Giselle?
So basically, I wake up to a text from Meg, and like the headlines are all Lily James, and in every single headline, regardless of outlet, married Dominic West, spark romance rumors with steamy kiss. That was the E! News headline. But like truly, like Yahoo, Lily James and married co-star. Lily James cozies up to married co-star, spotted kissing the married Afar alum. Like truly, like this man is married. If you so like
but
that is.
But they love to point out that he used to be on The Affair, the Showtime drama, where he played a man having an affair.
Yes.
So
I mean,
looks like art is or life is imitating art a bit. That method acting is really happening
in real life.
Dominic West, right? That's his last name. He's
Yeah.
like fine looking.
He's
Decent
a
looking.
man.
He's 50.
He's a white man.
He's 50.
Yeah.
I believe he's Welsh, so he's got an accent.
Okay.
Lily James, 31.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, I saw a paparazzi photo of Lily James in London yesterday holding flowers, walking down the street with a bunch of bags of flowers. And then today, she's in Rome kissing her co-star, her married co-star.
Like, and this is the thing, like, obviously this will all unfold, but like, I'm guessing Dominic and said married person he's married to are probably separated.
Yes.
Or some shit.
Yes.
Like,
I mean, unless
like,
this is a Kristen Stewart situation where it was a heat of the moment thing, but they were also with someone else at lunch. So this is what leads me to agree with you 100% that they are likely separated.
But I'm just like, Lily James is really just out here.
She's out here with these potential PR relationships during a global pandemic. Yeah, I mean, something that I read about Dominic West's wife is that they lived in a castle and she owns it. So he's really fumbling the bag here, giving up this castle that he lived in. I think they did like a house tour, but it's like a fucking castle. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't really have much else to say on this necessarily. This feels very 2006, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, and on that, like I was gonna say, like I feel like 2019 to 2020 has been like the years of press relationships, but I feel like that like kind of went away for a while, but like it's like returns. Like all these people are kind of just like PR relationships everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, Ana de Armas and Ben Affleck, whose movie got pushed back to 2021, so now they're extending their contract, I'm sure.
Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes.
No, but yes, exactly. I mean, and I don't know if it's that they went away or that they became more authentic seeming, you know, like, and now they're just maybe like, especially because it's during a pandemic and there's not many opportunities to be spotted together. But yeah, I don't really, I don't know. I don't love this narrative for Lily James.
I know. I'm not really a Lily James stan by any means. I mean, I like truly feel like I've seen her in like Mamma Mia too. I know she's going to be in the movie with Armie Hammer.
Oh, yes, Rebecca.
But I'm like, yeah, it's just everyone like out oot and a boot during the pandemic, just like being with all these different men's or whoever, doesn't matter if they're men or not, but like just being with all these different people. It just all seems a bit, you know, messy, if I do say so myself.
I mean, I 100% agree. Apparently they started filming this mini-series, this television series that they're shooting where they're co-stars in July. So when you texted me this morning and said, so she's not dating Chris Evans, my answer was just kind of like, one-time cross-Atlantic booty call.
Like in a pandemic.
In a pandemic. But this is another reason why Chris Evans, grow up.
Yeah.
Love you, I mean, grow up.
It also, this like whole co-star thing, like Justin Timberlake, right? Wasn't that who it was? Got in trouble like last year.
That was insane. I will never forget that.
Like, I just feel like everyone, this co-star thing, like I know that obviously like so many times people date their co-stars, whatever. I'm like, do I need to become an actor to like meet a co-star and marry them? Like, I'm trying to understand what it is. Like, but yeah, it just seems to continuously be a pattern. I feel like tomorrow the headlines will all be like we said earlier, like Dominic West and wife separated. But
yes,
this morning I was just like, this is just some like pre-pandemic just celebrity news.
chaos, just absolute chaos. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna follow this. They're in Rome. They were on like a scooter, sharing a scooter, not really wearing
On a
their
scooter.
masks properly.
Is this a Lizzie McGuire movie or
I mean, truly, like, is this a Paolo and Isabella situation? Is this a Paolo and Lizzie situation? Where is Gordo? Who's Gordo in the
truly
situation? I don't know. But yeah, that's just, I mean, make better choices is all I have to
Lily
say.
James during a pandemic?
Yeah, like wear your mask properly, pull it up over your little nose. Let's
I
go.
know, like truly the mask of it all. Like I can't even get into that, but okay. So I can do my number 4.
Yes, dive right in.
Okay, so my number 4 is Bachelor related once again. But this is our thoughts and feelings on the return of Hannah Brown. So I feel like Hannah Brown has like, I love YouTube. Let's just like, I think Meg loves it too, but like I
I
really
love
love
it because of you. Like I fully
yeah.
am on YouTube now because of you. So like you can absolutely take credit for that.
So like I love YouTube. So like I have lots of people I follow, like whatever. So like over the last week, the like not recommended, but like when you go on the home screen and like trending or like just like this videos have been coming up, and Hannah Brown, of course, has started a YouTube channel. As does every Bachelor adjacent person in some point in their career.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, her YouTube channel, there's 4 videos so far. There's a welcome to my channel. Then there's 10 things you didn't know about me. Then there's what really happened. It's a video with her and Tyler C, as if we haven't heard this 10,000 times. And then she has like an apartment makeover video. But like, first of all, like I hate when like this is how I feel about when celebrities go on TikTok. I hate when celebrities try to get YouTubes because it's just so produced. I don't go to YouTube to watch like a fucking film crew film your YouTube videos. Like I don't do that. I go to YouTube to like watch regular people or like YouTubers make YouTube content. So that's just annoying. But in turn, it's annoying because like Hannah Brown, obviously we all know, we talked about it many times on this podcast. When we started this podcast, that was like one of the main topics that was trending and being talked about, was when she said the N-word while singing a song and then gave a half-ass apology and whatever. It was big drama. And like she like kind of went away for a while, came out with an apology. Like I said, it was half-assed, and now has been like making her return to the media. So I don't follow Hannah. I don't follow her YouTube channel. I actually haven't watched any of these videos. But I did just do a scroll of her Instagram before talking about this. And like, it just seems like nothing happened to her. Like I know we preach on this podcast, like you're allowed to change your opinion if you learn new information, but like I just don't feel like she has changed. Like I kind of feel like she got off a bit easy. Like I feel like now she's just back to, I mean, her core audience like are people who candidly she didn't affect. You know what I mean? Like her core audience aren't Black women. So like
she barely lost any followers.
Exactly. And it's the same people who I follow, like I mutually follow, who are still liking her posts. And I'm like, not to be shady, but like I just feel, and we talk about this a little bit with Doja Cat in like a different way. I feel like her audience, like she's continuing to have a career. Like all these, I feel like it's so weird because like, not that I like want to sit here and have people be canceled, but like I do think that people need to like sit down, like think about what they've done and like actually come to a new conclusion and like be better and like understand how to be better. And I feel like with Hannah Brown that like didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, agreed 100%. And you know, just like you said it all basically. I also think that she and Tyler C are absolutely clinging to any semblance of relevancy right now.
Yeah.
I did not watch their video. Friends of mine did, and relayed to me that they are trying to basically pass it off that when she was quarantining with the quarantine crew in Florida towards the beginning of the pandemic for about a month, they are basically trying to tell us that they slept in the same bed every night and never kissed or hooked up once the entire time she was there. And I just, obviously that's fucking bullshit. Um, like, we are not stupid, but also I just think like them sitting down and like baiting people with whether they're gonna ever date again or whether they are dating or whatever is just obviously such a grasp for attention in a world that has completely left them behind. Obviously, in terms of the Bachelor world, there's been a few more cycles since then, and this new Bachelorette season is starting to air on Tuesday, which it was so funny. I don't know if you saw this, but the whole messaging up until last night when the Lakers won the NBA Finals in Game 6, all of the previews for Hannah's season, or not Hannah's, sorry, apologies, Claire. Claire's season premieres Tuesday, October 13th at 8/7 Central, if no NBA Finals Game 7. So like they were fully gonna flex her out of her premiere night if the NBA was playing tomorrow night. Which is insane. Like it just made me laugh. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that she's done any atoning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think there was a lot of news. I think that was the beginning of quarantine. So much more has happened since then. I mean, that was before like all of the protests started and this whole movement happened over the summer. And so I think she kind of got away with, you know, saying, oh, well, like I've been like this in the past, but like now I'm reformed, same way like Allison Roman is. Although I feel Allison Roman is doing a better job of maybe like doing this performative hashtag activism. And I think Hannah Brown just tried to like be like, I'm with the crowd, like hell yeah, Black Lives Matter, but like obviously just brushed it under the rug. So
yeah, I'm just like, I honestly, like, I'm asking people because like I really don't get it. Like, would we rather Hannah Brown be like, and them continue to this narrative of like, we slept in the same bed but nothing happened, and like, you know, her like Instagram thing, like I'm Alabama Hannah, and like Jesus still loves me, and the Bible verses, and like all I don't know. I'm just like, and I'm also like, I don't want to bring religion into our podcast, whatever, and like, but I'm just like trying to understand her brand and like what I don't get it. Like,
no, yeah, I mean, it's the whole thing about anybody who has a fucking, I mean, like, I'm sure there are people out there with Bible verses in their bios and are very nice people and very good people and, you know, holy and also, you know, practice what they preach. But it is always ironic when the trolls are the ones with the Bible verses in their bios.
Truly.
And
I'm
ones
like,
that are commenting hate and spreading hate and things like that. So it does, it is very like, this was her whole thing. And then kind of on the show, when she had her season, it was very like, no, like I'm owning my sexuality, like I'm owning my womanhood, but Jesus still loves me, which, you know, was a pretty good narrative for her while she was the Bachelorette. She was very, very popular.
totally.
Now it feels very disingenuous to if I ever stumble upon her profile and see, you know, I'm still in Alabama Hannah and Jesus still loves me in the context of all that's happened since.
No, 100%. And it's like, I'm saying I'm coming in at this from a point of like, everyone has their own beliefs, and like, I have my own beliefs, and I feel like, you know, putting a Bible verse in my Instagram bio is not going to change one thing about what I believe or what I don't believe, and it's not going to make me a better person. But like, it is true. It's like what you were saying, Meg. I've just, and I bring this up. It's like an continuation of what I was talking to you about in the beginning of the podcast, and now I've just like, it's just this hate culture that I continuously see, and people parading around with these verses and these things. I'm like, let's just like roll everything back and like, who are you as a person? Like, and that's what I'm trying to think about for Hannah Brown. I'm like, roll everything back and like, Hannah, who are you though? Like, have you changed?
Yeah.
Are you trying to be better? Have you actually thought about your actions and what you did and also what you do? behind the scenes. And you know what I mean? Like, I just,
100%,
yeah,
100%. It is, you know, if she was coming out with this YouTube channel, I'd like to see it be very stripped down, authentic, real, not all this same old, no offense to beauty queens, but like the beauty queen from the South kind of thing,
aren't we
where
tired of
this is
that?
like her narrative that she pushes, and it's like that there's nothing wrong with that, but it is just with her now, it's the same old, and it just feels like the same person from, you know, the beginning of Colton's season when she was incredibly irritating and couldn't even like make a toast. Do you remember? Did you watch Colton's season of The Bachelor?
Yeah.
He like took her on the first one-on-one.
Yeah.
It was literally her birthday. And they were like, they went on a date and then they're sitting having their champagne, and you know how they do at the end of the day. Here's to an amazing day together and the start of an amazing journey. And she couldn't even get words out. And I just still, you know, there was all that character development that was, you know, a narrative pushed by the show as well. You know, she got an amazing edit. That now feels like it never happened, in my opinion. You know, I see her now as that girl that I was like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Like, why is she like this?
Totally.
Rather than the person that I felt that she was, you know, maybe not right at the end of her season, but, you know, when she like kicked that guy Luke out, that Luke P guy out because he was being misogynistic and gross. Like, I was like, yes, that was the peak, and now we're way back down again.
Yeah, but that is my rant about the return of Hannah Brown, mixed with my just general frustrations that I've been feeling in the world about all of this kind of thing. But a mess, like a mess. I just can't. But that's my number 4. Meg, hit me with yours.
My number 4 is interesting. So it was
Yes.
announced on Sunday that I saw this trend, and I immediately knew that when I clicked on the tag that it was going to be full of like outrage and hate. Because this is about this new Cleopatra movie that has been announced.
Yeah.
Directed by Patty Jenkins, who directed Wonder Woman and has directed Wonder Woman 1984. And is starring Gal Gadot as Cleopatra.
Aren't we tired? I'm tired.
I mean, I am just so tired of the same shit.
It's like it's all of it. It's true, Meg. It's all of it. Like, it's truly the casting of things. Like, let's just cast things appropriately the first time, and then just like not have to go back and do all this shit. It's like how I feel about this. Like, let's not cast Gal Gadot as Cleopatra. Let's not do it, because it's the wrong choice.
Yeah, I mean,
it's truly the wrong ethnic choice.
It is, and I mean, Gal Gadot has been in trouble for comments she's made in the past. She is honestly viewed very problematically by a lot of people. Obviously, she's Wonder Woman. It's great. It's Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was great. Excited for Wonder Woman 1984. I don't think she's a very good actress anyway. That's like another point. Like, let's get somebody who can act. I don't know. I mean, she's very one note to me. Yeah, I mean, there's not really like much to say. Obviously, there was like a ton of backlash to this. Cleopatra was Egyptian, and in all media basically that we have, I feel like, absorbed about Cleopatra, me personally, I think in this country, is like a very white presenting image of Cleopatra, but she was Egyptian. So let's not cast Gal Gadot to play her. Thank you so much. It's like right back to where we were. It is so, it's just kind of thoughtless. I mean, I maybe they thought that, you know, hiring Wonder Woman would overshadow that, but I think the response has been mostly negative. It's just not great. It's not great at all.
It's like, don't be fooled, everyone, by Hollywood. Because to me, when I think about this casting of like Gal Gadot being cast as someone who should be Egyptian, also of a darker complexion than Gal Gadot is, I think about I've talked about this before, but like Disney now trying to add Black actors to their originally extremely white stories. Like, it like trying to course correct. It's like in the year 2020, we're like not just giving Black people their own stories or people of color their own stories. We're going to use the same white stories, but just put a Black actor there. And then simultaneously, when they have the chance to do something right and like actually portray Cleopatra as she was in actual history, they do the goddamn opposite. I'm like, so no one's learning. Like, we're not doing anything positive. Like, so, yes, there are some stories that are being told that are important and great, but like you think about it and it's like these two things are simultaneously happening at the same time. What's the problem with this? It's that like people aren't actually understanding the root of these issues of representation in Hollywood. They don't get it. They're just doing everything to try to like make a buck or like course correct in a not positive way. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like neither situation is positive to me. Like,
no, 100%. It's also, I mean, just the course correcting, like you talked about with Disney and everything, is just like another symptom of them remaking everything in 2020 and you know, in this era that we're in right now. Whereas why not hire diverse storytellers to tell new stories?
Thank you.
And bring their perspective to it so that it's an authentic original story. I mean, it's just so easy I'm not that smart, but I just feel like this is this is easy. I don't know.
You're right. It's so easy. It's so easy. And at this point, I'm like, I'm as in your Instagram bio, like always tired. Always tired. Like tired. I hear these announcements and I'm just like, our world, like, and this is what we say, like pop culture imitates what's going on in the real world. It's like, this is what we're saying. Like, we're literally going through one of the biggest social revolutions in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
And they literally have the audacity to cast Gal Gadot as an Egyptian woman. No one's learning. Just can't.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, not what you want to hear. And
it's sad.
I mean, they're not gonna, I don't see them. This isn't gonna be a Scarlett Johansson playing a trans woman or trans man. And then eventually having to back out from the vitriol. Like, I think this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, the other thing is, like, Cleopatra has been, again, along the lines of what you were saying, Cleopatra has been portrayed so many times in popular culture and in movies, and you know, Elizabeth Taylor played her literally.
Yeah.
Like, so many times. It's like, why aren't we like trying to learn more about other maybe like diverse women throughout history? I'm sure there are plenty of them. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm so tired of hearing about Cleopatra. But if they would tell her in a historically accurate way, maybe I'd be interested. But I don't want to hear another white presenting woman playing Cleopatra. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it.
Not great, Bob.
No.
That's really all I have to say about that. Every time I say that, I feel like I'm in Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say about that.
I mean, I agree with you. It's annoying and like I can't even believe. But my number 3 is a little less heavy in terms of, you know, social.
I forget which one it is. I'm excited for either one, but I forget exactly which one it is.
But this one is just a little question that I think I ask Megan Brady on, I'd say, a daily basis. And that is, Miss Normani, where's the album?
Where's the album?
And this is where we just have to really ask, because like, as much as I really like Normani, I do. I have nothing actually against Normani. I think she's great. but she's no Rihanna. She has not created and cultivated the career that Rihanna has created to be warranting me asking where the album is. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
That
Rihanna
is...
has come out with like what, 8 was Anti her 8th album, 7th, 8th album. Like we're waiting for R9 because like, you know, whatever. But also I will never actually be like, Rihanna, where's the album? Because like Rihanna deserves to like not give us an album for however long she doesn't want to give us an album, because she's put in her time and her work.
Yeah.
And the reason that I'm consistently asking you, where's the album, Normani, is because I seem to be getting everything else except for music. So, I mean, this was prompted by her recent Teen Vogue cover. Love Teen Vogue, love Lindsay Peoples-Wagner. Teen Vogue's my fave. But like, why are you on the cover though? What are you doing? Also, she continuously keeps being in these music videos, but not singing in them. Just like being there, dancing.
Yeah.
Or
I mean, we watched the WAP video yesterday, and it's like, she's there, she's doing her dance, not much else going on.
Yeah, and then she has, you know, brand deals upon brand deals, but like, I signed up for this fan club because I thought I was gonna get music. And like Normani, the thing is, it's like she has the potential to like have a career trajectory like Rihanna, and you know, Beyonce's is questionable, but like there's no vocals, but
we'll see.
Rihanna,
We'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, okay?
she could be it. She could do it. But the thing about it, and that I do think a lot of these younger celebrities or like musicians are like forgetting, is like, where's the music though? Like Rihanna, like, and Beyonce and all these other people like grinded from the beginning and like, you know, gave us music and like whatever. Maybe there were toxic environments. Who knows what's going on with Normani, but I would just like to understand where the music is.
No, I mean, I hope there is a tell-all one day. I really do. I want to see everything that went on behind the scenes here. I think yesterday we were speculating maybe it's like she's still on the record label that she was on for Fifth Harmony, and that's why Motivation came out under that, but she's trying to get out of it, which would make me sad because Motivation is iconic. No, it just felt like all of a sudden when Motivation came out and like it was served nothing but disrespect by, you know, the mainstream, but it was iconic and amazing, the music video. It felt like the beginning of something.
Yeah, and I just
and
feel like
we're still waiting for the next chapter. And 2 years later,
she's missing her opportunity. Like I think Normani had, like, there's a gap for her. Like we have the Megans and you know, the City Girls and the Flo Millies and like all these female dark skin rappers who are like owning it and like living their life, and like not even just dark skin, but like Black women who are rappers who are like owning their shit. And then you go to the other side of the spectrum and you have your Summer Walkers and your Ari Lennox and your Kiana Ledays and your Hers and your, you know, SZAs. And like SZA's maybe like a little can cross more into the Normani thing, but she's still not even that. But like we are really missing what Rihanna and Beyonce filled for so long, is this Black pop girl.
Yeah.
Like, where is she? I don't see her. Maybe I'm missing people, but like I literally can't think of one like Black woman right now who's giving me like, who could take a place, you know what I mean? Could really stand in that Rihanna, Ari, Dua, Gaga light, like that light of just like a pop star. And Normani has it. She does. I'm just like, and she's like a beautiful dark skinned woman. I'm like, Normani's team, like you're missing it. You're missing your opportunity.
Let's catch up.
Catch up. Practice.
Let's try again.
You've been practicing for too long. Yeah.
Practice makes perfect, but you know, maybe you just gotta like kick her out the nest a little bit. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm so sorry, and like, you know this about me, but genuinely, like, if we're giving Selena Gomez these hits, and I mean, the voice is just not there. Anybody can fight me. Truly, my DMs are open to fight about Selena Gomez because she's talentless when it comes to singing. Normani could fill that spot easily. She could sing those songs Selena gets. You kidding me?
Yes.
No problem.
I just like, I agree. Like or Vera, Meg, and I were talking about it yesterday. Maybe there's, like you were just saying, Meg, maybe there's something going on with the label, whatever. But like, I just am ready. I want it. I need her to give me all the pop diva realness. We want it. Like, I mean, actually, hold on. I'm backing up. Lizzo is giving that to me right now.
Yeah.
But like,
but also Lizzo, like the album was
it was
almost 2 years ago now. It was April of 2019.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on, it's a year and a half now. Waiting. And I mean, obviously the pandemic, I mean, I was listening to Z100 the other morning and they had BB Rexa on.
Lord Jesus.
And that was when I texted you about how she has a single out with Doja Cat, which enough. And it's bad.
It's bad.
But they were asking her about like, how did you finally like feel comfortable to put out music during the pandemic? Like they were saying like, we feel like it's great to put it out because like people need something to look forward to. They need something to listen to like make them feel better. And she gave like the stupidest answer. She's like, yeah, you know, we were just like working on it for so long and like in the studio. And like, I just said, you know what, fuck it. Like, let's cut it and let's do a music video and let's do it. I don't understand why if BB Rexa feels empowered to put out that kind of trash into my ears, why Normani cannot do the same. Not trash. Yeah. Like, give me something actually good. Like, come on,
totally.
Let's go.
And this is a plea from Meg and I as fans.
Yeah.
Normani, we love you. We are waiting, as of our many of your fans, we are waiting and we will still wait. But girly pop, we would just love to see a single, anything.
Some plans, some teasers.
A plan would be great. A rollout plan.
I could also just take an album drop. You know what? If Taylor Swift can give up on her like perfected like, you know, album lead ups and just drop an album, Normani, my girl, you can do it. Let's go.
You can do it, Normani. If you listen
Ariana
to this,
Grande wrote "Thank You Next" to the album, and I'm not saying she wrote it. Obviously, it was mostly other people that wrote it, but they wrote that album in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
We're ready for you, Normani.
Let's go. Okay. My number 3 is something that I had kind of seen coming. I had like seen some paparazzi photos and whatever.
You're always on it with the paparazzi photo.
I mean, it's sad, but thank you so much. Is that the iconacity of this? Genuinely, Mindy Kaling. This is once again proof that celebrities can absolutely be private when they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
There was a blind item about this on Dumois about a week and a half ago, and it was something about a TV star is pregnant, and she has taken, you know, content for her Instagram, for her, you know, social media, and so nobody knows, but like inner circle in Hollywood knows. So that turned out on like Thursday or Friday of last week, Mindy Kaling went on Stephen Colbert and announced that she'd given birth to a baby boy on September 3rd. He joins big sister Katharine, nicknamed Kit, and his name's Spencer.
First of all, I'm like, these names, Mindy.
Yeah, I mean, Spencer definitely goes with Katharine, but Mindy, like, where did these come from, my friend? I you know what? Mindy is tough because I love Mindy. I read both Mindy's books. I think she's really smart. She's funny. I loved her show. She's great on The Office, and she wrote for The Office, so amazing. And I always kind of found her very authentic, you know? But this whole era she's in now, where she's besties with Reese Witherspoon, and we love Reese, but it's just the content just feels so manufactured.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of upsets me, so much so that like when she posted the other day thanking everybody for the well wishes after she announced the birth of her son, she signed the caption MK, which just only reinforces the fact that she's absolute. Other people are running her social media all the time, I mean, other than that, love that she is just like doing the like in vitro sperm donor, single mom thing. I definitely think that's pretty iconic.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
I know. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on the Mindy Kaling front, because like I tip more on the side of like, I feel like I don't really have any visceral reactions or feelings about Mindy Kaling. I also like read her first book, and I watched the Mindy Project, which I loved, and I thought once again, like as you said, like it's so great to have representation, and like a female lead who, you know, is of color and also not stick skinny. It's great and incredible, and we love that wholeheartedly. And I also agree with you. I think she's funny and smart. I love her like thing with BJ Novak. Like they're besties, they're lovers.
I mean,
I don't
like,
really know, but I'm obsessed with it.
he's like godfather to her daughter. I feel like they should just date again. But I like from what I've read, it was maybe like a bit of a toxic relationship when they were dating. Like he kind of strikes me as a jackass, but I like their relationship endears me to him more than it would if it didn't than I would be if they didn't have that friendship.
But yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like celebrities can keep their lips shut when they want to. But also she does give me like Reese Witherspoon vibes. And like, I've had to like tell myself that I like, cause I do like Reese Witherspoon, but sometimes I'm just like, the Rainbows and Sunshine is like too much. Like it can be a lot.
Yeah, like more power to them, but it does just like the more time goes on, it just becomes a little bit more and more disingenuous as the time goes on. And it's not, you know, it's the same way we talk about relatability. You know, you talk about someone like Jennifer Lawrence, and how overexposed she became, and how everyone was so sick of the relatable, sunshiny, you know, eats pizza and junk food. Like I literally found myself one day on Mindy Kaling's Instagram, and she was like trying different cookies, and it was like a taste test, and it was just her sitting at her kitchen table, like obviously like her assistant or something is filming it, and I'm just like, Mindy, like why do you feel the need to do this? Like you're a writer and whatever. I mean, like if that's what you want to do, then do it, but it doesn't strike me as something that she just wants to do and film for her Instagram. It strikes me as like she's got a content schedule and she sticks to it. Obviously she did. She was posting photos in bathing suits in August. So that was obviously all taken before this pregnancy. And I get it. You know what? If you want your privacy, I respect that and love that 100%. But it continues to lose the real authenticity because it's trying too hard to seem authentic.
Exactly. And I think that's where it is. It's like, I'm not like, and I don't think you are, I actually know you're not losing any sleep over Mindy Kaling's Instagram. Like we are like, it's just like, yeah, it is all just a bit like.
It's a bit much. It's a bit much.
And I'm like, can we, like, what a revolutionary thought if we all just like used Instagram how we like wanted to use Instagram. Like if you don't actually use Instagram, like don't. Like, you know what I mean? Like I post a lot more than you do, but like it's authentic for me to post a lot more because I like Instagram. I've always done that. And like yes, I'm like I just it's all so much. Like I'm tired of the manufactured shit. I just want you to be real with me. If you don't actually want to post about your life, Mindy Kaling, or like if you're gonna give me this fake shit, just don't give me anything.
Truly, you know, like take a hiatus. I haven't posted on Instagram in like a month and a half. In the summer, I was posting all the time. It's like first of all, I'm tired all the time, Giselle.
Always tired.
Always tired. Always I told tired. You, I got 3 hours of sleep last night. I can't sleep anymore. The world is causing me to have insomnia. But you know, it is. It's exactly that. It's like, if you don't feel like posting, don't feel like posting. I tweeted like 7 times yesterday. That's my outlet. You know what I mean? But then there are weekends where I don't even open Twitter because I'm doing things with my friends or I'm distracted by something else. I don't know, it feels very much like she's got a CMS and she's got these posts scheduled and her assistant has like timelines. Like that's where it strikes me, and that's when it just starts to stress me out so much.
Totally. And I just think like a year ago, you know, maybe it was a little bit more not alarming or not annoying to like have these kinds of ways of posting, or like people just posting their like SpawnCon and their like fake lives and having the posting schedules. But I do think that like even from what I've seen on social media in terms of like responses from people, it's just like people are just like truly trying to understand and grasp any sort of like authenticity and like realness that they can, which is like a huge reason why I think TikTok blew up so fast, is because like people were just being fucking weird and being themselves and like screaming and being upset about what they were upset about, and it wasn't censored.
Yeah, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, when none of us knew how to, you know, really grasp this. But now it's like I see on TikTok every once in a while like an old trend from the beginning of quarantine comes up. You know, like I saw one yesterday that was that one, and neither you or I can relate to this, but it was like me when I get permission to go wake up my sibling, and it's that like interior, and
oh yeah,
and like you go in and you like jump on this whatever sibling. I can't relate. We're both only children, so that's
only
not
children
something that we ever did. But then it was like the caption was like, "I miss this trend, haha," and it was very obvious that there was no person in the bed, like it wasn't whatever. But it just felt like so. I was like, I used to laugh at those, and that just felt very forced. And it is.
yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
We're just in a different world, and it's just like changing so fast, and like all of us are trying to understand how to adapt to it. Like I work in PR, like you work in media as well. It's like every like I could think that I'm going to be pitching something next week, and like truly in the span of 1 week that could completely change because of the world. Like
yeah, and you can
just
think the content is timely, but then by the time you maybe like create the content, like I know at my company, like by the time we've like created some stuff during this pandemic, it's been over and it's on to the next, you know? So it's just like, you have to be like this. And I feel like that's kind of the mindset that maybe someone like Mindy or someone like Reese has, you know, with the posting and always doing the trends and, you know, talking about the latest shows. It's like Mindy Kaling tweets about all these shows. And I'm like, you have 2 children under 3 probably. You're not watching all these shows, Mindy. Believe me, I'm not even watching all these shows. Okay. And I just have to look after me. So
I got jack shit to do. So I mean, like truly. But yeah, I'm with you on the Mindy thing.
Mindy is I think a force for good in this world for the most part.
Agreed.
But I just need her to tone down the posting a little bit. But also congratulations on the birth of your baby and for keeping it a secret basically up until the last minute. She was spotted out like and looked pregnant basically, but nobody really wanted to say, oh, she's pregnant, because she looks pregnant, because we don't assume.
Yes, I actually agree. I love that she is doing her thing, having children when she wants to have them, and living her life and being a badass mom.
Also, fully like 40 years old and just like having babies. Love it.
I love it. Like, yes, Mindy, but also like Mindy, let's have a chat with our intern.
Yeah,
let's have a chat.
Take a break. You're fine. You got a newborn. It's great. Seriously, we'll survive, Mindy. Yeah. It very much felt like also though she put out like a collection of essays on Amazon literally like last week, and that's why she was on Stephen Colbert. And then it's like announcing the birth of your baby a month and a half ago. Like, okay, Mindy, I see how you're grabbing the headlines that your book of essays is not actually grabbing, and now people are probably interested in it, but it's fine. It's called marketing. Emily in Paris, rule number 1.
Literally.
Social presence is important.
I mean, truly, if Emily in Paris taught us anything, it's that.
Oh, God.
And then if you go to Paris, apparently every man will fall in love with you. So.
Literally.
I mean, that didn't happen when I was in Paris. What the hell?
Not one man fell in love with me.
I was played. Okay, so my number 2.
Oh, this is funny.
So my number 2 is the Kendall and Kylie Jenner fight on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
That I made you watch last.
that Meg made me watch last night. So, I mean, first layer of this is just like, why are these grown people fighting on national television
Grown ass women
about stupid shit, truly stupid shit? You're fighting about the fact that Kendall or Kylie didn't drive Kendall home, but the gag is that neither of them are actually even driving. They have a driver, so therefore, like, they're not exerting any energy. So the fact that they're fighting over this is literally insanity to me. That's number one. So number two, the thing that really upsets me the most is that a lot of times, like in the last couple of, this past season, I guess, last 2 seasons, I don't know how the seasons work on this show anymore, but there seems to be a lot of these arguments between the sisters leading to physical altercations.
Yes. There was, I believe the episode that aired with this fight also contained a scene in which Kris Jenner called Kourtney on the phone because the episode where Kim and Kourtney had the physical fight last season was airing while they were filming, and she called her and they're like crying about how like toxic things had gotten between the family and Kourtney and everything. So yeah, it's one fight to another.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I'm not even going to say not to, because I'm always going to bring it back to Black women, because I am a Black woman, and also it's upsetting. So like I said, they continuously bring these fights lead to physical altercations. And the first thing I thought about when I was like watching this is just the way that the public perceives it and the way that it is perceived, in general. It's like, if this was like, Real Housewives of Atlanta, if this is the Bad Girls Club, if this is, any of those kinds of shows, Basketball Wives, I don't even know, where there's predominantly Black or POC women, it's called ghetto, it's called ratchet, it's it's all these things when these women are fighting about stupid shit. But that those words aren't thrown around when Kendall and Kylie are fighting. What, because they have millions of dollars? No, because they're white. And it's just like, I'm just so, like, I'm tired. I think that's like the theme of this episode today, is just being tired. But like, these are the conversations that should be having. And I know that probably on Twitter, I'm not the only person in the world that thought this. Like, but I just like, I hope that people that listen to this podcast are like, hopefully thinking about these things as well. It's like, yes, 100%, we're all allowed to just consume entertainment in like a very, blasé way, but like, also, like, let's think about it. Like, what are we consuming? And if we're not commenting on the fact that this is not the same in every single race, if this are portrayed on television, are we normalizing the fact that it's okay that 2 white women fight and get into physical altercations about stupid shit, but when 2 Black women get into physical altercations about stupid shit, then it's considered something different,
I mean, 100%. Couldn't agree more. 100%. I think this is a really good point that you brought up, obviously. And also, another thing about it that disgusts me in a lot of ways is like, I remember, tuning into certain episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians because they were marketing it as this like big fight episode, and the way that they speak to each other and tear each other down. And it's like, these are so many people's role models, these Kardashians, and it's just insane to me the way nobody seems to clock them. Kanye's out here tweeting during the debates about voting for Kanye 2020, and Kim is saying absolutely nothing, doing absolutely nothing to stop it, but thinks that because she got someone out of prison once, she like gets a free pass. It's ridiculous. Yeah. But I mean, I literally remember tuning in to the episode, or not tuning in, maybe I like searched for the clip of the fight, just kind of the Kourtney Kim fight last year, to kind of figure out what it was about. And it's like, is it people, people are like, is it staged? Is it for, is it to make it more interesting? And if that's the case, that's even more disgusting, because you think that it's okay and it's funny to portray that. I mean, there was a meme made out of when, Kim was sitting, remember when the scene where like Kim's sitting in the makeup chair and she turns around to Courtney or whatever, and she's like, well, maybe if you had a fucking business that you were passionate about, then you would understand, but you don't, so shut the fuck up or whatever, and like, it's like it was made into a meme, but it's like, this is a double standard, complete double standard. I mean, the Kendall and Kylie fight, it is the privilege on display is absolutely insane. They're in one car with Corey, Kris Jenner's boyfriend. The rest of the sisters and Kris are in one car, and you're hearing the fight through the phone from the other car, where Kendall says, oh, Jose, the name of the driver, should I give him my address? And Kylie's like, no, I never agreed to drive you home. And Corey's getting in the middle of it. And then they kick Kendall out of the car, so leave her at a gas station. She comes in. She's telling the sisters and Kris that Kylie took her heel, and kicked Kendall's neck over this argument. And then Kylie's texting them being like, Kendall's in a bad mood, so this, she's been in a bad mood all day, so like, that I'm a sane person. It's like, this is what's wrong with our society.
Yeah. And like,
on so many levels, there's so many levels to this, and it may just seem like a simple, stupid thing, but obviously all the levels that you discussed about are incredibly important to be mindful of, which nobody is mindful of, but it is just also privilege. Insane that a chunk of our society like falls for this shit all the time.
But yeah, I mean, that's totally agree with you, Megan. Like, it, even you just describing all of it, like the scene of this whole entire thing is just like truly wild. Like, I could never in a million years imagine fighting with someone, number one, over if I was going to take them home or not, but number two, like, you're not driving. But yeah, I mean, I don't bring up the Kardashians to give them a clout or to talk about them or continuously put their names in my mouth, but just as you said, to just challenge everyone. Even challenging myself to, like, when I see these things, like, to think about it and also think about the implications that it means, because especially with that family, there's always some sort of 10,000 layers that are added to anything that they do.
1,000%. But most of the time, most people just take it at face value, which is not how you should take it. Okay, so my number 2 is kind of a story that's been in development for a couple of weeks now. It's about American Idol alum Katharine McPhee. So Katharine McPhee, for those who don't know, was runner-up on American Idol in like 2006.
Lost,
she's
like Taylor
been
Hicks,
a staple in, yes, Taylor Hicks, on Broadway since, and she's now married to David Foster, who was married to Yolanda Hadid, which is why Yolanda was on Real Housewives. There's insane connections in that family to the Kardashians and whatever. Katharine McPhee basically has stepdaughters now. They're the same age as her, whatever. It's all very, and they all talk about how they're a modern family. Great. Katharine McPhee is also well known for the video of her in her dressing room, I believe at Waitress on Broadway, in which she exclaims, "Hi, my gay boys," and addresses the gay community as like her people. She constantly is on Twitter. She's on that show Smash on NBC. Mm-hmm. So I think she thinks of herself a bit as a bit of a gay icon.
A sentence I never thought I'd hear.
Insane. Anyway, it came out a few weeks ago, because you can look up who donates to political parties, what people are registered as. There's a little app. But anyway, it came out that Katharine McPhee has been donating to the Republican Senatorial Committee to help reelect Republican senators. It's a free country, for the most part, for now. It's a free country,
Oh, wow.
quote unquote. You can support who you want. but it's incredibly hypocritical and disgusting to me that she is donating in the year 2020, by the way. It wasn't 5 years ago, it wasn't 10 years ago, it was this year, in the midst of everything that's been going on. Someone who thinks of themselves as an ally to the LGBTQ plus community is donating to reelect Republican senators who all they want to do is take away gay rights. The whole thing about how like people videotape like actresses saying gay rights and everything. She's like absolutely one of those kind of actresses who would do that. I can't. It disgusts me. I hate it. Thanks.
I hate
it. Not only that, though.
Always too late.
Since this came out in late September, I think like the 20th, she's been silent on social media. Her stepdaughters, like Sarah Foster, like David Foster's daughters, are outspoken liberals and have been making shady comments on Instagram, though. Did they just not talk about it before? Like, how did they not know? Whatever. That's their family business. No. The other day, it was announced that Katharine McPhee is pregnant and expecting a baby, which I love. I would love to just refer to as the Stassi Shroeder method of deflection. The convenience of it all.
Convenience. I can't.
It's just the audacity of this woman to be actively on social media talking about her gay fans, talking to her gay fans, calling them my gay boys, and then donating to Republican senators who want to strip gay rights, strip rights of women, is, like I said, just disgusting to me. She's still silent.
Katharine, fully, the fact that Katharine McPhee is in the news in 2020 is really something for me. Number one. This happens so much. Like, truly, people. It was literally what I was saying earlier today about these people on TikTok who parade around and say like, I love the queer community, yes, pride, but then like truly are the ones who, like, any queer person says anything or does anything that they maybe somehow don't agree with, and they're dragging them and saying they need to pray for them and like all this stuff. I'm like, it's just so much. Like, it's so much. Like, let's just practice love. Let's just like support people's rights. Like, let's just like it's no secret how we feel on this podcast and like the way
obviously
we're choosing to vote. Like, it's truly never been a secret, but like there's no middle ground. There's no middle ground. So like Katharine McPhee, like, once again, as it is, like, didn't Lea Michele have a baby like truly right after she was all her racist?
She was fully like 8 months pregnant and got canceled.
Sad. But it's like, of course, like, we wish nothing but a
healthy and happy
McPhee,
all the blessings. Also, like,
girlfriend, you are fully canceled in my book. Bye.
Reevaluate your life, reevaluate your priorities. Yeah.
Also, like, don't, like, it's just so sad that like that baby is possibly going to be brought into the world and be taught this hatred.
Yeah.
Like, that's so sad to me. Like, that's the saddest part.
Also, David Foster, a notoriously like bad dad. There was literally a documentary that came out about him during quarantine and about how like he could give two fucks about his kids most of the time. So amazing, Katharine McPhee. Great job. Congratulations. She and David Foster were also spotted out on a date night with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry the other night.
Oh no, I don't want to. No, I can't even entertain that thought today.
Meghan and Katharine went to, I believe, high school together.
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's a question for Meghan Markle. I mean, you know, we question people on this podcast. We have sung Meghan Markle's praises previously, and I want to know, is Meghan Markle talking to, you know, spreading, you know, good messages to Katharine McPhee? Is she trying to explain to her why she's wrong? I don't know.
I would hope
I
so.
hope so, Meg. I
Lord
hope so,
Jesus,
girl.
I hope that I don't have to drag Meghan Markle on this podcast soon. Oof, bitch.
I'm not prepared for that. Anyway, Katharine McPhee,
You're trash.
whatever. Goodbye.
Okay. So our number one
Yes.
is something that we share.
Yes.
And basically, if you guys have been following anything that has to do with Melissa Benoist, you know that in Melissa Benoist, if you don't know, if you weren't following, she currently plays Supergirl on the CW and also used to play Marley in Glee. So basically, Melissa Benoist last year had come out, or maybe this year, I can't remember which year, but basically told her truth about her abuse from her former husband, Blake Jenner. Blake Jenner and Melissa Benoist met on the set of Glee because Blake Jenner won the Glee project and then was a writer on Glee. They met, fell in love, once again, this co-star thing, and then got married. But basically, Melissa Benoist came out last year and spoke her truth about her physical and mental verbal abuse that Blake Jenner repeatedly exercised upon her. And like basically spoke out as a survivor and all of this. And it was met with like support, of course. And so she was just kind of speaking her truth about the situation and trying to offer support and encouragement to survivors of abuse.
She didn't speak his name, but it was very obvious. You know, she's married to, forget his name, but he's hot.
She's married to another co-star.
Yes, co-star from Supergirl, but he was also on the Vampire Diaries, and like he's all over the place, but he's hot. Also, she literally just had a baby, like I think about 6 weeks ago.
Yes.
It's like, yes, Melissa, we're so happy for you. Live your life, girl. Spread your wings. Of course.
Basically, what happens this past week is that Blake motherfucking Jenner decides to rear his ugly ass head and put on his Instagram a 5 slide long explanation / apology about the abuse claims truly a year later. 11 months to be exact.
Yeah, he hasn't posted since November 22nd, 2019, which was, I believe, like right before she posted her video.
Yeah.
And I mean, this man is not without work. No. He is supposed to be in the, is it Merrily We Roll Along? Or what's it called?
He was also on that show.
Yeah, Merrily We Roll Along, the Richard Linklater project that's with Beanie and Ben Platt. And it's supposed to be filmed over 20 years to actually show them naturally aging. And he's in that. So this man is not without work. Like, he is truly, like, has not necessarily fully been canceled.
Yeah, and I just think, like, him doing this and, like, I know that, like, many people will try to spin this story as, like, him trying to speak his truth. There's two sides of the story. Basically, in the statement, Blake, like, apologizes and, like, admits to physically and verbally abusing Melissa Benoist, but also tries to say that like Melissa Benoist was manipulative as well, and like if Blake says that he wouldn't take acting gigs because like Melissa would be upset if there was a female co-star, and like she would say like self-harming things if this were to happen. So I mean, all in all, this relationship was extremely toxic, but like it crosses a point when like you are physically abusing someone, there's just like no excuse for that. And also just to me, it's like reliving this trauma. Like must Melissa Benoist and her family and her current husband like relive this trauma? That's, you know what I mean? Like it just seems like, why? Like Blake Jenner, you're trash. Apparently, like, not that you got away with it, but like why are you being selfish? Like, if you could have said your feelings about it 11 months ago, why did 11 months from the time this happened you decide that this week was going to be the week that you make every person relive the trauma that you put upon this woman, especially the woman reliving this I just like can't with that. I
It's
just can't.
literally the post opens with over the past 11 months.
I
He
what?
threw a phone at her and it shattered her cornea. It hit her in the eye.
And he admits to it.
And then he went on had to go on Jimmy Fallon and made up a lie about what happened to her eye. It was her like funny story for Jimmy Fallon. The stress, the toxicity, the trauma, this man is I'm saying this man has work, but this man is genuinely irrelevant, and I hope he stays that way because he doesn't deserve,
And to me, it just seems like a cry for attention, relevancy, clinging 100%. On to anything in the most toxic and negative way possible. Like, I just feel, truly my heart goes out to Melissa Benoist. Like, number one, to have the courage to put your business and your trauma and tell your truth in the hopes that hopefully people will, be able to resonate with you is already hard enough. But like when you have just had a baby and are trying to probably experience a really exciting moment in your life, and this man who probably can't handle it, or, I don't know the whole story, obviously, but what it seems like is he like, this shook him probably. And he was like, let me like attach myself to this narrative once again. Like, that's just so toxic for me. And I like can't deal with, like, once again, toxic men. Like,
he had to have the last word. He waited 11 months to have the last word.
I can't.
It's so deeply upsetting, and just another example of how Glee is so cursed and upsetting and just trash. I hate it. Are we done?
Like, truly, sometimes our episodes are like so happy and funny, and then sometimes like every topic somehow relates to something extremely tiring,
and we just go off on philosophical tangents about our society and our culture. That's what you guys listen for, I suppose. I say that all the time now. It's so silly. Shall we award our Go Girl Give Us Nothing of the week?
Yeah, this is funny.
Speaking of staged paparazzi photos, what did we talk about that with? Oh, with Lily James, PDA, relationships, things like that. We are still hearing about this man, Max, Demi Lovato's ex-fiance. He fully called paparazzi on himself today, sitting on the beach where he proposed to Demi, crying, praying, laying down, just fully reminded me of like it's something out of 2006. It is so sad, and yet it is literally one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Because this man was manipulating her. He was absolutely not in it for the right reasons, because if he were in it for the right reasons, he would respect Demi's decision to end the relationship. But he is trying to cling to this 15 minutes that is taking a little bit too long to end.
This is clownery. It's absolute clownery. The whole relationship was clownery from start to finish. Demi girl, I love you, but being your fan is extremely tumultuous, and it was clownery from the beginning. And now this Max man continues to literally be the Joker. Like, I can't even believe he's like the images.
It's funny because the award is obviously called Go Girl Give Us Nothing, but Go Girl Give Us Nothing could mean giving us everything the way he is, but in the least authentic way. He's giving us zero authenticity. He's giving us, just zero acting, because he's like fake crying, and it's very obvious that his pastor movie is not going to make the cut, because I do not think that it's necessarily big budget and or that he has the acting chops to pull it off. Yeah, I mean, enough with this man. I hope we never have to talk about him again, but I hope
Literally.
that we will share the photos of him sitting on this beach, because it is genuinely, every time I see them, they make me laugh. Go Girl Give Us Nothing, Max Eric.
This Max man giving us
nothing. You know who consistently gives me everything?
Who?
Brian Tyree Henry.
Tyree Henry. Bitch, I knew it.
We spent like 20 minutes last night just watching Brian Tyree Henry like videos, interviews. I genuinely teared up. He just brings so much joy to my face. I mean, he goes on Jimmy Fallon and plays that stupid game with Sterling K. Brown, and he gives us everything and is also entertaining and is also cute and authentic. We love to see it.
Thank you, Brian Tyree Henry. Thank you.
My angel. Also, he gave us everything in that AIDS charity enactment of Angels in America. He was iconic. He was amazing. The iconacity of that. Love him so much. Anyway.
Truly an icon.
Yeah.
An icon living. Okay, everyone. Thank you again for listening to I'm Screaming. We hope you guys made it here. We hope you guys learned something. If not learned something, at least, you know, thought about something a little bit differently. As always, please tag us in things, DM us, tell us about what you're thinking. If you agree with us, if you don't, how you're feeling. We love to know. We love you all. You know, as always, pause the podcast right now and go to Apple Music and leave us a very kind 5-star review if it so behooves you.
Yes,
as well.
Vocabulary!
I know it came to me. And also, make sure to follow us on Instagram if you don't, at I'm Screaming Pod. Also, if you're feeling cheeky, follow Meg and I on our personal Instagrams at Giselle_Milan and at the Meg Brady, right? Not Megan, the Meg Brady.
The Meg Brady.
Also on Twitter, follow Meg.
Also the
Meg
Meg
Brady. And that's all she wrote.
Actually, I'm going to be changing it to at Meg in NYC. No, I'm kidding. I already looked it up and it's taken.
Like, I would have loved that. The iconicity of that.
Meg in Paris.
And with that, as always, love you, Meg.
Love you, G.